Good morning and welcome to my blog, Wisdom for Today. And today I'd like to share with you a scripture I found in my quiet time this morning. Sometimes I share a scripture that I read in the Bible this morning. And the scripture I read is a scripture you might be somewhat familiar with. It's found in Psalms 34, verse 18. It says, God is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Now, coming from a Western European background, when we say brokenhearted, we think romantic thoughts. But that's not necessarily what it means in Hebrew. The word heart, we separate heart and mind. But in the Hebrew way of thinking, it was more full and complete. Your heart and mind were somewhat one and the same. And the heart and mind meant inner person. You know, the wars that you fight within, that you don't let anyone else in, those inside debates you may have with yourself, or the storms or wounds that might not have been healed. When David writes this passage, he's saying God is as close, and the word close is relative, as a parent or brother and sister to those who have inner wars, who are not at peace with themselves, who feel defeated. The word crushed, again, is a military term for defeated. That God is near to those to lift them up. He writes it in a psalm to remind us that in the midst of our greatest trials, we have God standing right by us. When I read that scripture this morning and prayed about it a little bit, I thought of a hymn, one that I don't think that we sing enough in churches anymore. It's called He Giveth More Grace. It's written by Anne Flint. And Aunt Flint was a school teacher. She had never married. She spent most of her life investing in her students. Then at the age of 40, she got a crippling arthritis, which forced her into a poor home. And when she was in the poor home, she discovered the ability to write, to support herself through her writing. And she wrote beautiful poems. And one of her poems was created into a hymn. And that's that He giveth more grace. And if you haven't heard this song before, I just challenge you to Google it. I would love if someone who played the guitar could make a contemporary version of this song. But let me just read to you the words. He giveth more grace when our burdens grow greater. He sendeth more strength when our labors increase. To addeth affliction, He addeth His mercy. To multiplied trials, His multiplied peace. When we have exhausted the store of our endurance, when our strength is failed ere the day is half done, when we reach the end of our hoarded resources, our Father's true giving has only begun. And then the chorus is beautiful. It says, His love has no limit, His grace has no measure, His power has no boundary known unto men, for out of His infinite riches in Jesus, He giveth and giveth and giveth again. God is near to us when we say, I'm out of gas and I can't make it on my own. God is near to us when we find a problem that's so perplexing we can't find an answer to it. God is near to us when we lose a loved one to cancer or death. Or God is near to us when we find out the career we wanted is now out of reach. God is near to us when we're disappointed in the life that we've made as opposed to the life that we aspired to make. And God is near to us when we are exhausted and don't have anything else to give. Our only responsibility to access this love and grace is to open ourselves up to Him and say, God, I want you here. I want you right now. And I can't go further. Will you help me on this road to the end? I pray you have a great week this week. In New England, we have beautiful glowing trees of golds and reds and yellows. So with the coldness of the air, we get the nip of fall. But wherever you are, I pray that you see God's grace all around you. I hope that you're in church this Sunday. God's blessings and have a good day.